New York, with its most advanced scientific technologies, could not escape the wrath of the divine. Beginning on July 16, 2023, a natural disaster brought biblical-scale rainfall, flooding many areas, turning streets into rivers, damaging property, and forcing residents to evacuate urgently. The state governor immediately declared a state of emergency in the hardest hit areas, including Orange County, Rockland County, and the Long Island area. She called for the highest level of vigilance and mobilized all necessary resources for relief and recovery efforts. The United States Military Academy at West Point also did not escape the devastation of the disaster.
That car's getting washed away. Oh God.
Floodwaters inundated the campus, severely impacting facilities and equipment, forcing the institution to relocate cadets to safe locations. The town of Cornwall also suffered significant damage as many roads were cut off by rushing waters, and some houses could not withstand the pressure of the natural disaster and collapsed. Many people have been surprised by the continuous appearance of natural disasters occurring with dense frequency and danger. Could human activities have contributed to the destruction of nature, altering natural cycles? And has God noticed humanity's wrongdoing and decided to punish us once again? If you also feel that it's time for us to join hands in action to reduce the negative impacts on the environment, please leave a number 1 in the comments section. If you have different views or creative ideas about how we can improve this situation, don't hesitate to share them below. Let's search for solutions together and build a more sustainable future for the next generation. Floods continued to wreak havoc on Long Island, New York on July 17th as heavy rains inundated many areas, forcing residents to evacuate urgently. In a tragic turn of events, a police officer was injured in a serious accident on State Route 27, and a 43-year-old woman from Highland Falls tragically lost her life after being swept away by the floodwaters. Authorities are actively responding to the situation while also urging the public to remain vigilant and strictly adhere to safety instructions. The economic impact of this disaster is significant, with damage estimates potentially reaching billions of US dollars. Governor Kathy Hochul has announced an initial figure showing that total damages could exceed $37 million, while at the United States Military Academy at West Point alone, recovery costs have already surpassed $100 million. The heavy rainfall had a profound impact on the state's transportation system, with U.S. Route 9W and the Palisades Interstate Parkway suffering the most severe damage, necessitating temporary suspension of operations for emergency repairs. Remarkably, a section of State Route 218 in New York was swept away by the powerful force of the floodwaters. Key rail services, including Amtrak, Metro North Railroad, and CSX, also faced serious disruptions due to the flooding. This resulted in the cancellation of over 1,000 flights and the postponement of many significant sporting events, including the highly anticipated match between the New York Yankees and the Chicago Cubs. The heavy rains caused chaotic scenes not only in New York, but also spread to Massachusetts, with a flood recorded as the worst natural disaster in the past 20 years. The floodwaters submerged main roads in water, especially in Worcester, where U.S. Route 20 was completely submerged, causing extremely severe traffic congestion. A tragic incident occurred in Interstate 93 in Willington when a man unfortunately lost his life after slipping and following into a strong current. Officials and rescue workers have been working tirelessly to cope with the situation and assist those affected, while measures for repair and reconstruction are being urgently implemented to restore order and safety to the community. By July 21st, the flooding had extended its impact to downtown Boston, causing major disruptions in urban life. Boston Logan International Airport also recorded unprecedented rainfall, with nearly 2 inches falling in just 1 hour, significantly disrupting aviation operations. In the West, numerous vehicles were submerged in a sea of water on Maine, U.S. and Massachusetts routes, prompting authorities to close certain sections of U.S. Route 1 and other roads to ensure safety. Meanwhile, Franklin County recorded the highest rainfall in the region, with the town of Conway receiving up to 7 inches of rain and Montague with 5.5 inches of rain. The city of Boston set a new record for daily rainfall on July 29th with a total of 3 inches recorded in just one night. Meanwhile, Andover witnessed higher rainfall with 3.5 inches. Emergency conditions were declared in several areas, including the town of Williamsburg, where rescue teams were continuously mobilized to conduct underwater rescue operations and ensure the safety of residents. The sudden natural disasters in New York may not simply be the consequences of climate change or natural reactions, but also considered messages from the Creator. In the Bible, the concept of God's wrath is mentioned multiple times, reflecting the view that sin is not tolerated and that fair punishment is applied to the unrepentant sinners. While individual perspectives on divine signs may vary, one undeniable fact is that natural disasters are clearly detrimental to our world. Before facing an apocalypse, we need to make positive changes. I believe that even the smallest actions by each individual in protecting the environment can contribute to a sustainable and peaceful future for Earth. New York, USA, on September 29, 2023, experienced a heavy downpour flooding the entire city and its surrounding areas.
Wow.
The rainfall in the morning led to reports of evacuations, widespread flooding, and disruptions in major subway lines. The National Weather Service issued flash flood warnings for Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens. Nearly all subway lines were at least partially suspended, rerouted, or experienced delays. The Metro North Rail service from Manhattan was suspended for most of the day, but began operating again in the evening. The wrath of Mother Nature is becoming more frequent and intense, and we must do more to protect the Earth than ever before. Transportation officials reported that the Long Island Railroad was congested. 44 out of the city's 3,500 buses were stranded, and bus services were disrupted throughout the city.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
According to the weather and city officials, more than 7.25 inches of rain fell in parts of Rockland as night fell, with at least one location receiving 2.5 inches in just 1 hour. The National Weather Service stated that the 8.65 inches at John F. Kennedy Airport surpassed the record for any day in September, a record set during Hurricane Donna in 1960. In these areas, the warnings were expected to last for an extended period, and by 12:30 p.m., additional warnings were in effect for the Bronx and New Jersey. In the morning, videos from commuters show cars driving through flooded streets in parts of Queens and Brooklyn. Kennedy International Airport in Queens reported over 3 inches of rain. City officials warned New Yorkers to avoid traveling and stay off the roads. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority also alerted of major disruptions to subway services, especially in Brooklyn. Several train lines were delayed or suspended. In the Upper East Side of Manhattan, streets were submerged and many residents bravely attempted to commute in the heavy rain. Rainfall is forecasted to continue from central New Jersey to Manhattan and surrounding areas. Social media was flooded with images of the inundation from central New Jersey to Manhattan and other areas. The newly installed floodgates of Hoboken, designed to close automatically when water accumulates on the streets, malfunctioned, obstructing numerous roads for vehicular traffic. This prolonged rainfall is expected to affect approximately 25 million people in New York and its surrounding areas. City officials have issued travel advisories warning of potential impacts on the morning traffic. The MTA has inspected and repaired infrastructure such as drainage systems to cope with the situation. Experts speculate that the cause of this heavy rain might be the remnants of Tropical Storm Ophelia. Hoboken and other cities and towns surrounding New York City also experienced flooding. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy ordered state offices to close at 3 p.m., with the exception of essential personnel. Some humorous comments from residents on social media. I took a day off, told my boss I can't swim through flash floods. New York City has never been cleaner. Let's do this at least once a month. And here I am just watching this poor woman struggle with her baby stroller. And all of this shouldn't happen. It will damage the entire city and many people living here. Why is it raining so much? Meteorologist Ross Dickman from the National Weather Service explained that the remnants of Tropical Storm Ophelia in the Atlantic combined with a mid-latitude system coming from the west at a time of year when oceanic conditions are particularly conducive to storms. And this combined storm settled over New York for 12 hours. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notification bell to support our latest videos. Cape Town, South Africa on September 25th. Trees were uprooted and flooding occurred in informal areas and formal settlements and on roads.
There you go.
Power outages in Western Cape were just one of the challenges accompanying the severe weather system that began on Saturday. Disaster management teams were working hard to locate 3 individuals who went missing following the heavy rain that persisted overnight in Western Cape. During a local briefing on Monday, MEC for Planning and Development and Environmental Affairs, Mr. Anton Pretels, reported that one person was swept away by the waters. Part of a road along with a bridge was washed away and a car got trapped. 2 individuals from the car tried to save one person, but the search for the remaining individuals continue. The Weather Service issued a Level 9 warning on Sunday, forecasting heavy rain and strong winds. As predicted, the rain poured heavily and the wind showed no mercy. A church in George suffered significant damage after strong winds overnight. Trees and properties were damaged in the city center and many other areas. Major roads leading to Cape Town and Caledon were nearly completely congested. Several bridges were closed off and rendered impassable. Emergency measures were put in place, but rescue efforts were challenging due to the flooding and the risk of landslides in many areas. Residents were advised to stay indoors and avoid the hazardous areas. Authorities are actively assisting and providing essential information to the community. Please leave your discussion comments below the video comments section. Thank you very much for your keen interest, follow-up, and enthusiastic support. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. For now, we say goodbye and look forward to seeing you in our next videos. Wishing everyone a warm day with your family.